Hey everyone, this is the grand hall of the British Horological Institute, and it is the place to be at midday. Have a listen to this. We're at the British Horological Institute, and I'm with a real-life horologist here, Alan Midleton. When was the institute founded?
It's founded in June 1858, so it's been around a long while.
1858, and this is the chap here we have to thank for it. Who are we looking at?
This was Edward Daniel Johnson. He was a fine watch and chronometer maker working in the Clerkenwell district.
Okay, so he made clocks, he made watches, he made chronometers, and you don't just have to take my word for it, because luckily, here at the Institute, we have a very special object, a chronometer, made by Johnson himself, and you can see his name here on the box. Alan, what are we looking at here, and why is this special?
It's special because it is an experimental piece which he did. He recognised that the problem with chronometers is they've got a lot of steel parts in them which get magnetised, and he found a way of actually minimising that by mounting the chronometer, which of course should be inside this bowl here. The device is actually at the side there, it's a little watch movement, and that will actually turn the entire bowl around in 24 hours. This means that it just minimises magnetic disturbance. That's the general idea.
This sort of moves. Why does this move?
Because it's mounted on ship. You was in the special, either the captain's cabin or later in the special chronometer room. Because as the ship pitched and rolled, then this remained virtually flat because the box would move, but that could actually stay in one position.
And just while we're talking about the Institute here, which still operates today, still trains people to make and repair clocks and watches, this has been going for a long time now, and we thought we'd show you some historic objects that show you that. First of all, we have this, which caught my eye. What are we looking at here, Alan?
Well, this is the silver medal of the Turners Company. Turners Company took it on themselves to award the silver medal annually to the finest student, the best student that we had.
This one was won by someone called H.J. Drake Junior, who obviously back in the 1880s was doing some pretty good work as a student.
Well, that's right.
We don't know what happened to H.J. Drake.
No, I'm afraid not, no.
No. Can we look at the other side of it?
We can, yes. Well, we're on top here, actually.
We're going to look at the other side of the medal, people. We don't know what's on there yet. Oh, there we go. Man. It says, to H.J. Drake as a prize for horological drawing and theory in the competition of the British Horological Institute, 1906. And then we have some names signed on there as well. These are obviously people who were working at the Institute at the time. And the Lord Mayor was there as well. Alan has also picked out for us just a couple of little examples of work done by students at the Institute over the years. What have we got here, Alan?
These are the real size parts of watches here. They're all mostly escape wheels, part of the escapement. That's the ticking part of a watch. And these are all made and finished and polished by students till they were perfect. The one on top is a chronometer escape wheel made in gold. So that's just an example that they had to do, and then this was put on a little exhibition.
The reason they're kind of mounted on little towers here is almost for display purposes.
For display purposes, yes. That's
right,
yeah.
Okay, so these are just examples. They're like sort of showing off, look, this is an example of the fine workmanship you can do if you're a student here at the Institute.
That's right, yes.
You're going to have to excuse those clocks, people. We are at a horological institute. And something else you got out of the cabinet for us here, Alan. What are we looking at here?
Well, this is a watch that was actually completed by one of the students in the 1880s. His name is Mr. Peake Junior, I think, and his name is on the inside. But this is what he had to complete, and this became his personal watch.
There we go, as advertised, Peake Junior Horological Institute. And we get an even better look at Mr. Peake Junior's workmanship, which is pretty lovely, I have to say. Let's just go out into the grand hall here, Alan. So there are lots of really old clocks here, obviously, accumulated over the years.
Yes, very many.
But I think it's appropriate that perhaps we end today's video with this incredibly modern piece of work. Can you explain what this is? It's right here in the centre, it's got pride of place. It doesn't look very historic.
Well, in that sense, no, it's not. It's about 10 years old. It was presented to us by a group of our members who made it for our 150th anniversary, which was in 2008. I feel a little responsible for it because I gave them the idea of a special clock for our anniversary. And they very quickly came up with this idea. It's a suspended clock, so it's actually in a tube that's actually hanging on these wires. And they came up with an idea with a revolving escapement, a weight-driven clock. This is the driving weight here, which descends to about this level here. And then it trips a switch on the inside, it's automatically rewind. Rewind, it takes 46 minutes to rewind.
So this black hoop disc with the engraving on it is the actual weight itself?
That's the driving weight, yes.
Okay.
And it drives the wheelwork that's inside here.
It doesn't look like what I'm used to seeing inside clocks. Is this movement unusual, or is it quite a typical clock movement?
No, it's not typical at all. You have a revolving escapement, so you will see this revolving on the inside, and every 6 seconds the small weight is dropped onto one of these pendulums to keep them in motion. And the 3 pendulums, they keep each other together like that, so it's quite an interesting design. I mean, I don't think you're ever going to beat the accuracy of a quartz clock, a quartz one you can buy for a couple of quid for the kitchen, that's probably more accurate. The difference is, of course, this will last, well, pretty much forever, whereas the quartz clocks will last for 5 years and then it's broken down forever. So long term, this is an excellent clock. The time is told on digital dials, so the time here is coming up for just after 12 o'clock here. The minute hand is here, telling you it's 7 minutes past 12, and then the seconds hand is now on the other side. You'll see it coming round in a second.
How do you think this is going to date? Like in 100 years, when and if hopefully the Institute is still going, and people like you and me come and look at this and think, oh, this was made to celebrate an anniversary, what will this tell people about clockmaking now?
I think it will tell the ongoing inventiveness of British clock and watchmakers. I mean, I think it's, if you like, the quartz clock and watch has taken away from us the need to really make ordinary clocks very accurate, so they go for extraordinary ones. This is just one example. There's another on the wall over there. They're constantly finding new ways of using old technology.
Support for Objectivity comes from 23andMe, a personalised genetic service that helps you learn what the 23 chromosomes that make up your DNA can say about your ancestry, traits and health. You can help with scientific research and discoveries and learn about your own personal DNA story by going to 23andme.com/objectivity. Thanks to them for supporting us, and thanks to you for watching this episode.